Is Jungkook really desperate to show up in Paris without an official invitation? Who was the mysterious figure that made Celine's gates open for her? When the streets of Paris were closed to the public for the sake of Paris Respire, there was one unexpected step that made all the eyes of the world turn to one name: Jungkook. Is this a subtle form of defiance of the system? Or a sign that something bigger is going on behind the opulence of the Tuileries Gardens? Paris, July 6th, 2025. That day the air was quieter than usual. Not because of the emptiness, but because Paris suddenly seemed to hold her breath. In the silence, the sound of shoes trailed quietly among the streets completely closed to vehicles as part of the Paris Respire, a car-free day that makes the Tuileries Gardens quarter feel like a grand stage under a silvery gray sky. But one presence, not even on the official list, has caused a deafening silence in the global media. Jungkook. But wait, what really happened? How can an international star like Jungkook, whose name is already synonymous with the world stage, be present at a big event like CELINE-Printemps 2026 without an official invitation? Who paved the way for him? And even more stifling, why would a figure like Michael Ryder, Celine's notoriously selective new creative director, seem to have no problem with that? Is this just a coincidence? Or are there strong hands working behind the scenes, inserting Jungkook's name into a system that has been so exclusive? By then, all eyes should be on Taeil. Yes, BTS's V, Celine's global ambassador who attended the event officially with Park Bo-gum in a private dinner session a few nights earlier. Taeil's performance is mesmerizing, but the highlight of the world is someone who doesn't even have a seat on the guest list: Jungkook. He came quietly, not photographed on the red carpet. There is no official documentation from Celine's media team. But somehow, the spy cameras of fans and fashion journalists leaked a second of its existence, and the explosion of speculation could not be contained. Is this a form of protest? Grab the spotlight? Or a silent call from the heart of a friend? Even stranger, according to a number of reports circulating from industry insiders, there was no Jungkook's name in Celine's VIP guest system that day. But how could someone like him possibly get away with such a limited area? Who would dare to take such a big risk just to bring Jungkook on site without the permission of the main organizer? Question after question hung in the cold Parisian air. Some speculated that Jungkook's whereabouts that day were not planned by his own agency. There were even rumors that HYB was completely unaware of the presence of one of the BTS members in the Tuileries. Then who? There is a surprising theory emerging. Is it possible that Taeil himself personally requested Jungkook's presence? Was their meeting the night before the event the starting point of this subtle conspiracy? Or is it someone from Celine's side who secretly gives the green light due to pressure from external parties? An unofficial source who did not want to be named revealed that Michael Ryder himself was actually aware of Jungkook's presence at the location. But instead of ordering his expulsion or taking security measures, he reportedly just smiled a little when told. Is this a tacit acknowledgement of Jungkook's status as a global symbol who doesn't even need an invitation to join the fashion world? But the questions have not stopped there. Why did Jungkook choose to come? Is it simply because he wants to support his best friend, Taeil? Or is there a hidden message that he wants to convey to the public, to the fashion industry, and maybe to someone personally? When the moment happened, some of the army claimed to have found different expressions on Jungkook's face in the leaked short footage. His gaze was sharp, but blank. The road is steady, but as if hiding a burden. Some commented that he looked too calm for someone who had just broken through the protocol of a big event. But did he really just come to watch? A fashion journalist from Milan even admitted that he had seen Jungkook standing backstage for 5 minutes, observing the rows of Celine's latest collection. But do not interact. Say nothing. As if was waiting for something. Or someone. In the evening, shocking news came back. Some people claim that Taeil and Jungkook were seen leaving from different areas of the hotel, with a gap of only a few minutes. Not together. Not staring at each other. But wearing clothes that almost match the color. Is this a symbolic form of communication between two friends who are later rumored to be estranged due to differences in career directions? Some fans even juxtaposed this with the dress code that had occurred in previous years, when BTS members secretly hinted at their relationship through the color and pattern of clothes, not through words. So, if this is a silent signal, who is it for? And why did it have to happen in Paris? When Celine was showing her return collection, is this an indirect statement from Jungkook that he actually also deserves to be among the official guests, that his name cannot be left aside in the fashion world, even though he is not announced as an ambassador? Or more tragically, is it a form of disappointment that her name is never mentioned, while her best friend shines alone under Celine's spotlight? Mixed feelings flooded the digital army space. Many are proud that Jungkook still shows charisma even without an official name. But not a few felt sad, as if there was something he wanted to say, but could not say it. A photo taken by fans secretly shows Jungkook staring at Taeil from a distance, as one is on stage and the other standing in the shadow of a Tuileries tree. A fan commented, "The look doesn't show a sense of pride, it's like an unanswered longing." Is this the beginning of a new chapter in Jungkook and Taeil's relationship dynamics? Or a sign that there is a silent conflict that has never really been resolved? And how will HYB respond to this? Will they issue a clarification that Jungkook's presence is a personal decision? Or are they just going to shut down all the questions, leaving it a mystery that continues to be discussed? Clearly, one thing is now indisputable. Jungkook's presence, which shouldn't have been, is a moment that can't be forgotten. A silent step that shook the industry. A big unanswered question. And a secret that may never really be officially explained. But could it be? That's the real goal? Let us ask. Let us feel. Because perhaps, in his silence, Jungkook has said more than anything that words can describe. Behind the glare of the cameras and the throngs of fashion onlookers trying to stay elegant in their confusion, one question haunted every head that followed Celine Printemps 2026 that night. Why did Jungkook choose this path? In the highly structured world of entertainment and fashion, presence without official permission is not just an act of daring, it is a form of silent rejection of the agreed-upon rules of the game. And Jungkook is not a figure known to be careless in taking steps. Some industry analysts suspect that this is not a purely personal act. It's possible that someone perhaps from within Celine, or even from wider circles of fashion executives, deliberately left a gap open, allowing a big name like Jungkook to step in and shake up the schedule. But who would dare to play in this gray area? Some off-the-record sources mentioned that Jungkook's name briefly appeared on Celine's list of potential fashion ambassadors earlier this year, competing with several other big stars. However, the final decision fell on Taeil, and it became a highly promoted move by the label. The decision was referred to as strategic, as Taeil's visual image was considered more aligned with Michael Ryder's creative direction. Is it possible that Jungkook's presence was a personal response to the decision? Or even a form of deep loyalty to Taeil, a friend who has always stood with him in joy and sorrow? But why did the presence take place secretly, without official recognition, without a single public utterance? While the media was busy digging up the meaning behind the unexpected presence, fans on social media created alternative narratives that were no less emotional and speculative. One of the posts that went viral showed a picture of Jungkook with the caption, "He wasn't invited, but he was present. He wasn't called, but he was seen." That's not a coincidence. The sentence spread like wildfire in a dry meadow. Many regard Jungkook's presence as a form of silent rebellion, a silent rebellion against the fashion selection system that often ignores the emotional value and depth of relationships between individuals for the sake of aesthetics. Some fan bases have even started raising the hashtags #InviteJungkook and #RespectAllKings as a form of support, satirizing those in the industry who may have underestimated Jungkook's influence in the global fashion realm. Not a few have compared Jungkook's involvement in other shows before, such as Calvin Klein, with how Celine seems to be closing the door for him this time. However, this drama does not stop at the professional sphere alone. The most emotional issue arose from speculation about the personal relationship between Taeil and Jungkook. Many have begun to re-examine their interactions in recent months. Are they really broken? Is Jungkook's presence actually an attempt to fill a void that they've kept quiet for too long? A longtime BTS